There'll be a little fountain.
Is he a spurter?
We've got a gusher.
A gusher. Oh my lord! Right, quick. Do we have a quick get the first aid box out?
What's one of
Give
them?
him an eye patch and a sling.
Hold on. Does he want Black Widow or Magnet?
Just super glue them together.
Somebody reads or on it. Lintro. I've just put Lintro.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the TFI Friday show. Where are you bleeding from?
Elbow.
Oh, God. Where? Can we see the blood?
No.
Put it in the accident book. Never mind. Good afternoon. We trust you're all doing very well. Good evening, good morning, tomorrow, people. Wherever you are, right the world, around the world. Look, oh, Jeff's in from the Emerald Isles, from Limerick. Look, hello, YouTube land, Canada. Look, everyone's in now. It's amazing.
Cool.
Toulouse, crikey, we are truly international today. Where's everyone from? I'm waiting for somebody to say Peckham. That's all you need. Bolton, absolutely. Good job. Anyway, trust you're all doing very well. We've had quite an eventful morning this morning, doing things. The boys have been out and about with the suppliers, as you can see. They've come back with lots of various things for the PM store, which we'll have a proper look round in a little bit. As always, as I say, Tooting. I love the name of that. I'd love to live in Tooting. That's like button, isn't it? It's one of those nice words.
It's nearly as good as Chorley.
Or Timoth. Or
Timoth that's spelled Timouth.
It's Timouth. Well, it's like, that's a Devon thing though, because actually, it's the River Team, and it's actually Timoth or Timmouth, and then Bobby Tracy, which it depends. Everyone who lives here calls it Bobby Tracy, but it's actually spent Bobby Tracy. So, whatever. Never mind. All good job. And everyone's in live chat as well on the Flooring Models chat room. Good to have you all down in there. Campbellwick Green, wasn't that Trumpton?
That's next door.
That's the spin-off, wouldn't it?
And that was next door to Chigley.
So yes, good job. Anyway, we're all doing very, very well in there. If you guys can keep an eye on the Flooring Models chat, I'll keep an eye on the YouTube chat land.
Yep.
And it's just started raining here again. It's been dry for the last sort of 6 hours, and now it's raining again. So welcome to the very wet and horrible Devon this last couple of days.
Well, Matt said he was going to cut his lawn this evening, and then about an hour.
No, literally when I got up to do my recycling bin, it was drizzling. So I thought, well, that ain't going to happen, is it? Hey, phone's going. What's going on?
I don't know. Oh, it's all right. It's just something.
Usually is.
It's all right. It's EE taking their money. Fair enough.
All right, okay.
My statement is available.
Nice of them to let you know.
Well, they do. They text me every month to say, we're going to take your money from you, which is amazing when it's like an unlimited plan in all directions. And it's like, your usage is, well, I know that, but it's unlimited, so I don't care. Anyway, it's proper raining now. It's tipping it down. You'll probably hear that in a minute coming off the roof. Anyway, as always, we'll have a quick roundup to see what we've been up to this week. To be honest, it's been quite quiet. Anyway, part 5 of the Zero is up with you right now. This is the extended version to the version that went up on Tuesday, which was another version of using the Quinta Studios 3D decals. I have had literally probably 100 messages about how I used it and done it wrong. But it worked. Apparently everyone has said you ought to be careful because I didn't glue these down and they're supposed to be glued down. They're not decals. They're only decals for transportation purposes. And then you're supposed to use PVA glue or super glue to glue them down. And everyone's amazed that they stuck, but they are, and they're still on there now. So they did stick. Obviously, I did use super glue on the harness and the things, but everyone else, I just literally put it to it, and it seemed to work. Anyway, it is all on there now, as you can see. So we went through a little bit of a thing about doing it and going through the motions. I think the cockpit turned out all right, really. Quite happy with how that is.
Looks very nice. So is this the director's cut then?
Yeah, this is the director's cut, which has got the full everything on, because obviously I put the cockpit together with the engine and all the rest of it into this one. So this is like the director's cut version of it. So yes, so that is up on the site right now. Okay, and then we have to work backwards in time now. Obviously, last night you could see Matt playing with his bust. I couldn't find the little shot with you playing with the lady, unfortunately.
Leave my bust alone.
But we were on last night because obviously Nathan was off celebrating Eid, I think it was. So happy holidays to them and happy food. And then PM Models, obviously on Wednesday show, all things kit related and things like that as well. So we were talking what's been out and about in the modelling world, happening at the PM store and all the usual things. Amazing as always. We managed to make the show about an hour long, which is always quite clever. Tuesday, obviously you got the full thing on this one. This was obviously my Tuesday show, and then in amongst it I showed how to use these. So again, this is the non-director's cut, the quick version if you like, on the Tuesday show down in there as well. Obviously there was another members video. Thank you very much to everybody who commented on that one. This is part 2 of my rant on the state of the universe. So obviously you have to be a member to see that one, so that'll be in the forum. But needless to say, thank you for everyone's comments, all been taken on board. I'll do part 3 of that on this Tuesday coming up, which gives you a lot more information about what's going on as well. So yes, and then obviously on Monday, if it clicks on, we've got, this was the preparation for doing everything down on the Zero. So we finished off on the, oh, didn't I hot link these? Oh my Lord, I didn't link them in. Anyway, finishing off the engine, we showed about that one, removing all the surface detail in preparation for the Quinta Studios coming on. Then we painted and primed up and everything, the actual cockpit area. And then we hand painted all the details in, which, you know me, I use Posca pens a lot of the time, but I did actually use a hairy stick as well. And then we weathered it because I wasn't too sure about how the decals were going to go. So I wasn't overly convinced that I was going to like ruin them. So I decided to weather before we put those 3D resin decals on. So dry brush right the way over as always. Then we went in with oils and a little bit of poking around with all of that to finish off the cockpit work. And then obviously that brings you up to part 5, which is then using the resin decals and finishing off the cockpit, so forth and so on. So yes, that was the week, really busy week. No reviews this week because we were, we didn't have anything to review. Because we're waiting for everything to come in.
There will be next week because you'll be getting a Helldiver for sure.
Yes.
And you can have a look at that and see what you think.
Mm-hmm. So this is the HPH Helldiver. It's been reboxed by, who are they called?
Infinity Models.
Yeah, them.
Infinity Models. Are they the same people who do the cutting mat?
No.
No. So what they've done is they've taken the major parts and you've done them as injection molding instead of in resin. So if you're not a big fan of dealing with 100% resin kits and a bit terrified of the thought of all of that detail, this we're thinking is probably the simplified version of it. So it's injection molding with resin. And then we've noticed as well, and some guys are putting orders for them as well, is you can get a lot of the aftermarket bits for it in resin. So like the wing fold sets, the weapons bays, isn't it? I can't remember what else was it now.
Flaps, cockpit, is it? You can get cockpit.
Landing flaps are photo etch.
Quite a few bits. So you can, at least you can pick and choose what you want.
I was going to say, you've got 3 versions now in theory. You could do the HPH one, which Andy's got, which is a resin, beautiful thing, and everything solid resin on it and photo etch. Or you could do technically that version now, which is an injection molded with, or you can add more to it. Which again, I think that's always a nice option because we've said a lot of times people get put off, I think, by HPH by sheer amount of work with all the detail. So at least with this one, you can go pretty much in with the actual styrene set for the major components and then add in the resin. And you might think to yourself, well, I still want to have all the details of the cockpit. So you can have the option, the flaps, the weapons bays, the wing fold. Or if you're not worried about it, you're going to save yourself a good chunk of cash, aren't you?
I imagine that the resin that you can buy for the kit is by HPH as well. But HPH never did a resin wing fold for the original one, for the resin one.
Oh, right. You couldn't fold the wings then on the original?
No, I can remember talking to the guys at Telford a couple of years ago, and he said, well, we've got to leave you something to do yourself.
So I wonder if they've had enough feedback that they've bothered to design their own and add it to this. So you could also add it to yours if needs be, I suppose. It's going to be the same, isn't it?
Might have to pick a wing fold up and put it with my...
Well, you're not going to build it. You're going to build that if you're going to build out, aren't you?
Yeah, true.
I was going to say, are you really going to do your resin one, or are you going to do that one?
I might do when I retire.
Oh, okay. It's his retirement bucket list build.
Yeah.
Cool, very good. So also down in there, we've got on our, if I go to the store, I can show pictures at the same time for the new arrivals. So that is that particular one there, as we were talking about. As you can see, looks very nice. Nice box art as well. And then down in there as well, you've also got the Phantom, which is tucked away in the background, which is the Sukamori one as well, which is quite nice. And then you've got the, is it all down in here? Are they all in here?
Should be.
Should be. There it is. I'm looking for that one. There we go.
Yeah.
The Crusader.
B-17's above that.
And the B-17, which is, again, the one that came out this week, which we got in as well. So that's all nice.
Yep.
Good job.
Yep.
Very, very nice indeed. Cool. Right, okay then guys, so what we've got is a few questions left over from last night, because there was tons and tons and tons of them. So if you're watching last night's show, you would have seen. So we've got a couple more of the actual questions just to get through before then we release you all onto us to get us to do things and stuff. So where do we want to go? We wanted to go to, this was Lauren's, wasn't it, as the next one. You said, dear friends, currently working on the Tamiya motorcycle. I bought some aftermarket decals and guess what? They just don't fit. Either they're too large or too small. So my question is, do you think that aftermarket companies don't even bother to test fit their products? Same goes for the specific resin parts. Sometimes they just won't fit because of the size is incorrect. Stay safe, Lawrence. What do we reckon?
So are they aftermarket decals for the Tamiya kit?
Yeah, I think so. He's saying about he's bought some aftermarket decals for it.
Yeah. So because Tamiya ones are normally quite good, aren't they? Though, on those sort of things.
You'd hope they'd best fit them, wouldn't you? Because it's a bit pointless actually designing them and. You know, obviously.
I often wonder, like, how, like, other things as well, like mask sets that Edard do come out within days of the kit release. So do Airfix talk to, and these other manufacturers talk to Edard and give them the dimensions for them to be able to make a mask set so quick?
In fact, sometimes you see them come out before the kits.
Yeah.
Perhaps there is, we don't know. That's one of them.
We'll have to find out. We'll ask. I'll ask some people about that and see what they say, if they actually get a little bit of inside dimensions.
This is my point again with a mask set, right? If that is the case, that obviously Edard are in cahoots with said manufacturers for dimensions and stuff, why don't the actual manufacturer just do their own and add them to the kit?
This is true. Yeah. No, I'll get you.
You need to get Edard to produce them and put them in with a kit.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's one of them mysteries of modelling, isn't it? I suppose. But yes, we need to know. We need to know this information.
Yeah. Well, perhaps we could. Well, we've got one person we can definitely ask, and we've got a couple of backups as well, and see which ones, what the companies come back with. I will make some inquiries over the weekend and shoot some messages and see who comes back with it, because it would be interesting to know. You know, because again, sometimes it amazes me how Edard especially sometimes release stuff before the kit's even out. So,
what's that like, especially their own kits?
Well, yeah, that as well. So, you know, that is definitely a thing. As for test fit, the only time I've ever had decals which were completely wrong, if you go back through my back catalogue, when I was doing the F-16s, I bought some aftermarket ones for a very colourful tail. I can't remember which one it was for now, on an F-16 48 scale Tamiya. And it was a multi-layered, so it was because it was the older decals. They had done the system where it had a white one goes on, and then you put a black and white one over it, and then there was another one over. So it's 3 deep of decals that made up the shape. Unfortunately, the one in the middle was the wrong scale, so it just didn't line up. And so yeah, that was it. And I said to the company at that point, "You'd think you'd check." And they pointed out not many people build them anyway, so a lot of decals never go on a kit. So yeah,
well, perhaps that's this theory with the decals for this bike. You know, I don't know, but yeah.
But you know, certainly sorry, certainly from resin, aftermarket resin, I do know a little bit about this. And what happens sometimes is that the master, which is where the copy is usually the correct scale, but sometimes the master gets damaged. So then they use one of the molds as the master. And then you get into that situation of taking, the master is a mold, so the dimensions slightly shift with each one. There's a thing to this, NatWest Piggies. Anybody who collects NatWest Piggies, only because my other half's into all of this, like she says, apparently there's a load of them out there in the wrong scale because somebody made a mold of original, so it's the wrong scale then. And that's how you tell the dodgy ones, because they're actually, if you put them side by side, there's quite a difference in it. But this happened to me many years ago on a model I was working on, and it was like 1/40th scale instead of 32nd. It was just, It was wrong. But then I spoke to the actual designer, and he's got the masters, and the company who were doing it didn't. So they must have taken it from a copy in the first place, and that's why sometimes they don't line up. So, but I would have thought if you look at a lot of aftermarket, you'll see they've got a picture of the kit, normally in primer, don't they? And they stick all the bits in. So you think they probably have done a fair amount of checking and making sure and all the rest of it. So we shall see. Don't know. Any thoughts, Andy?
No, I mean, things do go wrong in print. I mean, I bought some decals from a famous company that sells decals.
Decals Direct.
Yeah, possibly. And they were out to register, well out to register, and I emailed them, and the only reply I got back from was that they're all like that.
So that makes it all right.
And you think, well, yeah, and
if they're all the same, then that's okay, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
are those decals extra? Did you say? Can I have an extra set, please? Because mine are ruined. Was it them?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
and they weren't a third party one either. They were their own.
Wow.
So,
well, perhaps going back to the 80s. Hey, without a registered decals.
Yeah, maybe. Perhaps that's what they were trying to do, keep it real.
Yeah, I ended up buying another set off eBay by looking at the picture that he posted up of the decals, so I could tell that they were the register.
Did you actually use them?
The original ones, they got no.
No, the actual decal set.
Oh yeah.
That was always the thing though, when it Airfix, you look at the decals and it's like, you'd have like the bullseye here with the roundel, big white swoops all around them where they're so far out of register, or just generally they would just, the writing would be off diagonally from it, and that was normal. So good old days.
These things are just little boss-eyed. They were well.
Thing is, that's why I think a lot of aftermarket decal companies sprouted up, because the kit decals were always out of register and really bad, wrong colour and all the rest of it. So I think that's what sort of drew the industry along in the 90s and 80s, wasn't it?
The first sort of aftermarket decal company I can remember was Microscale, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
They did loads of nice ones back in the 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
I think I've probably still got some old ones in my selection down there. But yeah, I think it was because it used to come in the old Annans catalogue. Remember the thick catalogue, and you look through it, and there was all the. Not that you could see a picture of what you wanted, right? I think it was just sort of a list at the time, writing. But I don't know who else was out back then. Who else did aftermarket? Microscale was definitely one of the bigger ones. Sure, there's another one.
Hold on, let me get me thing and I'll tell you, because I've got decals from throughout the ages in here.
Decals through the ages with Phil
literally, Jesus, half of them fell on and out.
Like an archaeological dig.
So yes, I've got lots of different ones down in here. Hold on, where's my older ones?
Newer genres compared to.
Oh, there you go. I'm talking like proper original.
Yeah.
Aftermarket companies who used to do the decals.
Oh, hello. Micro decal. Can you hold the fort?
Yeah. Dog barking. Must have a delivery. so yeah, going back to our chat. We had a conversation about Star Trek and Star Wars.
Star Trek is.
Yeah.
What the world could make.
Yeah, it looks like it. We're
Sorry, delivery. Fine.
what What? Yeah, no, good.
I don't know. It's just a box, so
Oh,
I have no idea. So yes, Micro Decal.
Was that
Yeah.
That's them. Yes, £3 they were. Some there for an EA6B in 72nd. So yeah, proper old school. I don't know what year they are. I don't think there's a date on them.
Well, that'd been Hasegawa.
I don't know what it was for at the time, to be honest. So yes.
Could be.
See, the other one as well was Super Scale International.
Super Scale. Oh, it might have been them. What did they come in a little envelope?
Yeah, it's like a clear envelope.
Oh, that's the one I meant. Not my, that was it. Super Scale.
Yeah.
Ah, the other ones. I knew it was some scale.
Yes. I think most of them are. I need to really should go through some of these and sort them all out. So, yes, lots of stuff. Anyway, that was what I was trying to think of. Was those in the little clear with a clear envelope?
Yeah, you used to get the clear window.
Yeah.
On the envelope.
So,
yeah.
In the 20 minutes we've been talking about it, did we actually answer his question?
No.
No.
No. Because
the answer's almost.
We don't know. We've done a proper politician's answer there. Just talked way around the question and not answered it. So I think we're quite good. I think we should change our jobs.
We should be politicians.
We should join the government.
Simon says, evening all. Question. Oh, he's not here. That's the one for Nathan about the lightning. Andy did some research though. Basically, the question is about the aftermarket conversion set for the 32nd scale lightning into a T5.
There's definitely one for the 48th one, isn't there?
There's not for. I don't think there is for 32nd.
Well, Sword do the 48 scale
2-seat, yeah.
2-seaters.
And there was a conversion for the Airfix one as well, which is a resin end.
Didn't Trumpeter do a 2-seater?
No. They only did a single seat.
Well, yeah, true.
So, I don't think there is. Not that I know of. But we'll ask Nathan when we see him next and see if he knows of any. But yeah, I can't recall. It could be one of the really obscure garage companies that's done one in the past.
I know there's definitely a 48 resin plug thing, wasn't there, that you could.
For you, the
Airfix one.
Airfix one till the Sword one took its place. Yeah.
We'll ask him. He might know more.
Yeah, he'll probably be.
Is he home from work? Somebody text him.
I'm about to say he'll probably come in chat in a bit.
He'll be in chat in a minute, so we'll ask him in chat. Keep an eye on chat. If Nathan pops up, you can ask him. Peter says, hello guys, I'm wondering how people feel about eBay. Yeah, this is a weird one, isn't it? eBay management payment scam, oopsie mean scheme, whereby PayPal can no longer be used by sellers, losing their protection and the instant payment that goes with it. I don't know anything about it because I don't use eBay.
I've lost my will with eBay for a long, long time because the prices have become stupid to sell stuff on. It's become ridiculous. So no, I've not used eBay for a long, long time. You?
Use eBay? Never use eBay. I don't ever.
I must admit, I've converted over to Amazon.
To be honest, not actually for selling. I don't use eBay because it's just like you said. They just the fees are just horrendous now.
Do you know you get that? There's that noise on your phone when eBay, a notification from eBay comes on. We're on it with Matt in the evenings, and his phone is constantly going ching, 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 as eBay's doing its thing.
It's only reminders or whatever. Just like watching. I'm a lurker.
A lurker.
Seeing what prices and stuff are not fetching.
Yeah.
It's not. It used to be good eBay, didn't it? It used to be really good eBay. It's just, it's just
no good now.
It's even better when you get sent the wrong things.
Well, it's not, is it? Because I've got the hassle of now sending it back. Apparently, there's a Lightning 2 conversion. What's all that? It's down 30-second, is it, Peter?
Click on it.
I don't click on that link. It could lead me anywhere. Could go to right rabbit hole.
Give him a dodgy virus.
Yeah.
Give him COVID.
If this ruins his computer, Andy. Whirly birds.
All right, just 30 seconds.
There you go, whirly birds.
That's what we were talking about, actually. When we mentioned it, we were talking about it last night. We heard about whirly bird, didn't we? But we weren't sure if it was still available.
Yeah. Are whirly birds still going, are they?
This is what we were saying, wasn't it?
When's that from? So yeah, there is actually a 2. I tell you what, that looked quite cool in 30-second, wasn't it? Have you ever thought about building a 30-second Lightning?
The trophy kit is just a bit clunky. I don't know.
I've
got that great reference book on it, and every time I look at that reference book, I think, there you go. You could really go to town on the trophy kit and turn it into something special. But again, that'd be a mega build. That'd be a super build to do something like that. But yeah, I thought about ripping the back off and having the engine exposed on the back and all the rest of it. But it'd be very, very nice.
I think the problem is with the trumpet kit is it is inaccurate as well, isn't it? Quite inaccurate in a lot of places. So if you can live with that, I don't think it's the bad, but depends how rivet counter you want to be.
Yeah.
Friday forum. Roger, you need to put your question up here for us. We don't do questions anywhere on the site, do we?
No, not
It's
on
a bit of a
Friday.
free- it's a bit of
Friday's
a
a
free
relaxing
for all.
day.
It's a free-for-all on a Friday, a chill day. So if we see it, we'll answer it, and don't be upset if we don't.
Just remember, we make the rules, so we change them as we feel.
Yeah.
So,
The rule is there's no rules. Just to answer somebody, MH40 says about any news on Dark Dirt. Dark Dirt is back. This is literally the first bottle from the new batch that came through, because I've had to do a standing test and a check test and all the rest of it, and this is it. It is on the site. It's on the Flory site right now. The boys will have it up with them. It's going up on a courier on Monday. It'll be in stock with them on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So, but yes, it's in. So we're going to get 100 bottles up to them.
How many?
Well, 500 you need? How many do you want?
Probably.
You can't have 500
Right,
anyway. I ain't got enough to do 500, but yeah.
Yeah.
we'll put it on our site on Monday, but if you order something with it, it won't go out until Tuesday. So.
Yeah, because obviously I'll bottle this over the weekend fully, and then obviously the boys will have it.
Because we're thinking, Roger, we can't go and look because we're on a different thing to look. Sorry. So you post it up on the chat. It's a photo of a tank. What sort of a tank? Water tank?
Septic tank?
So, yeah. It's in the forum somewhere on Friday. Andy will have a look for you, Roger, and we'll see if we can help you out.
Where would you get a 30-second Trumpy Lightning? Can we get one?
No.
No.
Oh my God,
Rocking
no.
horse.
They are proper hen's teeth.
You know what will happen is at some point Trumpy will just re-release it again. It will come round like the Hind does.
Hey, the thing is, I've noticed though, it's never ever been deleted from anybody's lists.
Yeah.
But it's never in stock.
No.
So it's like, oh, I'll get, but it's just always like red, you know, because you get the amber and the green and the red light, you know, the traffic light system. It's always in red. So if we did get, you know, if it did come out, we would definitely get it in because I think we would sell it. I think people would buy it, but no, just like I say, it's probably like the Hind comes around once every 10 years or something. I don't know, 5 years. So yeah, put it in it.
Where's he posted it?
But we posted it again, Roger. Put it in chat for us where it is. Top.
There you go. Good shot at the back of my head coming up.
Yeah, see it.
No, the bottles weren't stuck in the arse end of nowhere. It wasn't the bottles. We were after clay. Couldn't get clay. We had clay. We have had no clay this year. This is the first batch of clay we've had in this year. That's been the trouble with making the wash. So, but anyway, it's in now. So we're all good to go. Hopefully the world can turn again now. We've got it in. So
It's good that you've got it in.
it's all in soak and being manufactured by my fair hand. I was out there mixing it about an hour ago.
Get his cauldron bubbling.
Yeah, I'll be cauldron going and mixing it all up, so it's all fine.
So
Whereabouts is the photo on the forum, Roger?
come on, give us a clue.
Jens says, Matt, are you going to do a tutorial on figure painting? I have started a 3D printing a number of busts that I'm wanting to paint.
I've started one actually. I started it yesterday.
Yes.
He's not here actually. The figure's not here. I was back at home. I didn't bring it in, but
It's never where you
no,
need to be.
it's never no.
Friday 4.
So yeah, I've started a little build on. It's a 1/16 dragon figure, so it's not resin or 3D printed because I can't get Andy to 3D print me out yet.
Yeah.
I keep thinking you should 3D print me a bust.
I think he should. Yes.
It should, shouldn't it? So have a play with it, see what they're like.
Can you do my Mandalorian thing whilst you're at it?
Yeah, I want to one of myself actually. So yeah.
Paint a Mandalorian. You could paint that because there's no flesh tone.
I was going to say, it'd be nice metals on that, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, you could test your extreme metals.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've started a video build. The first part is obviously going to be construction because it's like a styrene kit, and then we'll go into priming and painting and whatever for that. So like I said, I did do a bit of a disclaimer at the beginning of the vid though to say I am learning this side of it. So I am definitely no expert and can't be preaching this is how you do it and that. So it's just, yeah, you know, it's me learning on the job, I think is the word, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
So there's going to be mistakes and there's going to be probably redos and all that stuff that you probably don't see normally because either people are a lot more competent at it than I am or they edit it all out, but I'm going to kind of show the cock-ups and everything. So it could be quite a long, not a long series as in painting it, but long as in the video lengths, because obviously it's not paintings.
Yes,
can be quite time consuming.
Fair enough.
And my friend opposite here has got to edit it all together. So, so yes, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, to be honest, I'm looking forward to doing it.
Yes,
I do like doing it.
I'm confused because I can't find a post by Roger in
anything
Friday's vlogs. There is a post from somebody else. Is it from Roger we're supposed to be looking for? Or?
Yeah, Roger Rawson, yeah.
What did he
and
say?
Then Russell's just put one up for me. Speaking of figures, you ever built the old Airfix ones? I did the French Hussar years ago. I think it was about 1/8. Yeah, they're about. Do you mean the proper?
Yeah, they did a Roman Henry VIII.
No, no, they did the sharp, the Napoleonics, didn't they?
Oh right, those ones.
They did a blue tit.
Yeah, no, I
dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
French Grenadier.
It's
in a box. No, they're only about 54 mil. It's actually upstairs in the box. I can remember I still did it. And then they had the multi-pose figures in 30-second, didn't they?
Yes.
Which I've never done those, but I think for the time they were out, it was actually well ahead of the time. Because you used to just get the little plastic.
Yes.
You know, on the runners, the 72nd ones or whatever, the 76 scale ones. But yeah, I have built one of their old kits.
Just a quick couple here. PM will be stocking the sets as well, but there's no packaging for them. You remember we used to do a cardboard box? Well, the bottles are different now and all the rest of it because they're a bigger size. So they may be coming to you loose with a nice little collector's card and all the rest of it still. Yes.
Same as the standing sets.
Yeah, same as standing sets as well.
Yeah, but don't forget, that's going to be sorted shortly as well.
Yeah, it's all right.
So, but anyway, they will have full restock of everything, exactly the same. And to be honest, Brett, I've spoken to Brett over in the States as well at High Altitude Hobbies. He's got his order in for them as well because he's just gone out of stock as well. So next week he'll be getting a load over to him as well.
I was actually thinking about this, Philip.
As I was thinking,
I'll Philip you if I need to. You know how I said about the bags?
Yes.
You know, because to put them all in. Well, I obviously pick them as they come in.
Yeah.
Off the stock. So if nobody's really,
which is why our stock levels are never right.
No, but I'm thinking of the planet here.
Yes.
Because they're going to, when people receive them, they're going to take them out of the bag they come in anyway.
To be honest, that is my other half's point. She said about there's no point doing boxes because everyone just throws them away. So, which has probably got a very good point.
Yeah, and I'm thinking the same for the big sets as well. I can see the starter packs, starter sets have got to go in a bag, but I'm thinking if people's not so bothered about the actual resealable bag they come in, because they come in their own little bags anyway, I'll just send it with a card or whatever else, you know, what should have gone with it in with the order. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know what I'm getting at, don't you?
Yes.
So,
because we put, they're in bags, which we put in a bag, which we put in a jiffy bag.
Yeah.
And how many bags do you need for?
Yeah, exactly. Because you're going to take them out of the main bag because you're going to want your standing sticks.
Yeah.
you know, out of the little bags as well, aren't you? So I'm just thinking of saving the bag, you know, saving on another bag that we don't require.
True.
I think.
Yes, true.
Yeah, we'll think about that one. Yeah, that's the one I built, the French Grenadier 1815. Yeah, it's all right. They were actually not bad figures. Anyway, cool. Is that all the questions? Is that it?
That's questions, yes. I've got a few down in here, though. He's just saying, this is Joe, and he was saying he's watched the build of a Special Hobby BF109E3 on YouTube, and the decals were similar to the new Edard style. So do Special Hobbies use Edard decals now, then?
Well, let's talk about Edard and Special Hobby.
Yes.
Because we have put up a pre-order for the new Tempest radial engine Tempest.
Yeah.
And it's Edard's kit. Yeah. But it's a high-tech Special Hobby boxing, so that's the one with the resin. And
you get all the goodies in it, yeah.
Why is that out before the actual Edard version? Because that's gone quiet, hasn't it, the Edard Tempest?
Yeah.
So obviously they must be in cahoots somewhere or other for that to happen. But interesting subject. You know, the screen's gone
off. Good evening to Japan. I'm not even going to try and pronounce your name. Konnichiwa. Yes, they're saying as well. It's Airfix's Henry the 5th, 6th, 8th kit.
Henry the 8th.
Working out me Roman numerals there.
Yeah,
8th. Yeah. So yes. Oh yes, I wanted to ask Matt what happened to the Italeri Opel Blitz, the regular transport truck. Can you get it in 1/35th scale?
I don't know, if I'm honest. Let's say our said supplier of Italeri and things are having a bit of problems.
Yes.
I've got to leave it at that. Well, they're not having little problems, they're having massive problems. But I will ask, I will find out if that's still available. I would have thought so, because it's been in their catalogue since 1975 or whenever it was first released. I don't think it's ever been dropped. To be honest with you, if you want an Opel Blitz, get the Tamiya one.
Yeah.
It's not a new kit anymore, but it's really good. And also ICM do one, but they call it just a half-ton truck or whatever it is. They can't use, because Opel's still a brand. They can't use the Opel brand, but it is a Blitz, you can tell. But the ICM one's really available. That's cheap. That is, I think that's cheaper than the actual Italeri one, and probably a nicer kit because it's newer. So, yes.
Do you think that's why they call it an Opel Manta, isn't it? Because it doesn't sound as good if you said Vauxhall Manta.
Yeah, probably.
See, it was always known as an Opel Manta, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And it always had the Opel badge on it, didn't it? Not a Vauxhall badge.
Not a Vauxhall badge. But was that their way of distancing themselves from it?
Well, yeah, but we never had the Opel over here, did we? Because, like I say, it was Vauxhall, isn't it? It's like it wouldn't be an Opel Cavalier.
Yeah. That's what they all wear in Spain, wouldn't it?
Yeah, or a Senator or whatever they used to have, a Nova.
Yes.
The picture Roger's posted up in the Friday chat bit.
Yes.
He says, look and see what tank this is. Now, I ain't got a clue what mark it is because.
Let me see.
They're all. Honestly, I haven't got a clue what mark
it is. Is it German?
No.
No, okay. That's a Churchill.
No, Churchill got one of them in sale. But what mark is it? Is that 5?
That's the one that we've got in this thing.
It'd be a 5 then, surely.
5. That's the Tamiya one.
Yeah, Tamiya do one, which we've got.
Tamiya do one, Airfix Club do one.
Yeah, which is in our special offers at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Churchill.
It's a later Churchill because he did a Mark II and a Mark.
He's got the £17 a gun, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's not the flamethrower, is it? It's not the. Yeah, I think it's that one we've got here in shop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just to answer Ray, because he's asked at the time. Sorry, Ray. Did your Tornado friend ever comment on the Italeri Tornado? No, because I've still got it here.
Gee.
It's his birthday present, Christmas present, anniversary present, and everything combined, I think. Just so he has to build it out of guilt. Because we don't want to.
Yeah.
Next time you see him? Probably Telford, won't it?
No, August.
Well, we're down for August, isn't it?
Oh, August, of course, yeah.
Unless
Well, that,
Phil
yeah.
ventures up here at some point, or
Yes.
I venture down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Now we can kind of move around.
No, we're allowed to move around next week.
Yeah, Churchill Mark 7.
7, is it?
Still Tamiya, yeah, it's a Tamiya kit. That's a good kit, that Tamiya one. I know it's knocking on, but it's cheap as chips.
Who else do one? AFV Club?
FE, yeah, but that's, yeah.
Fiddly.
Nice, lovely kit,
Yeah.
but fiddler. If you want to, excuse me, easier build, then yeah, Tamiya one is
Yeah.
20.
Kieran says he had an Opel Manta, best car he ever had.
I always fancy a Berlinetta Opel. I actually been looking last year for a Berlinetta.
All right.
I don't like the hatchbacks. I wanted the saloony version, and that was the Berlinetta one, wasn't it?
Yes.
And I remember a friend of mine when we were 8, 17, 19, I mean, in our late teens, he had one in this browny, goldy colour.
Yeah, I think one of my friends' dads had one, you know. When
1800, slow as anything, but it just, I don't know, they're cool. I like an Opel Manta, I've got to say. I think they've become kind of retro.
Yeah.
Because
They're probably very sought after, but then so's a Sierra.
Because they rot. There's nothing left.
Yeah, it's like a Sierra. They just rot away to nothing.
Michael's just put up, is Opel called something like Vauxhall? And yes, it is. Yeah, it is Vauxhall.
Yeah.
And then on the continent, it's Opel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Apart from
GM
apart from some things like the Manta, there was never a Vauxhall Manta, was
Opel
there?
Ascona.
Opel Ascona, there was never a Vauxhall Ascona, was there?
No.
So some did make it over here branded as Opel, even though everything else, like the Astra,
Yeah. Cavalier.
and all those things, were branded as Vauxhall instead of Opel, weren't they?
Mm.
Even though they're the same things.
Nova.
Vectra.
An Opel Vectra. I think the Opel did the Vectra. I think it was called an Opel Vectra. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, interesting. Monza. What about an Opel Monza?
Yeah.
Don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird how some made it as Opels over here and didn't get rebranded into it.
But yeah, looking for a Manta, you'll see the prices of a Manta if you wanted one now. They are, like I say, they did used to rot though, didn't they? They weren't, you know.
GTU.
Opel Cadet, that was a little Astra as a Cadet.
Yeah.
That was it. James has just put it up. So, yeah, interesting.
Jonathan says he's bought some of the Flory Wash. It's good stuff. Good. Yes, the long back Manta. Funny enough, we were saying about this one. Speaking of Airfix, just looking on their website after reading their Workbench blog, just seeing how many of their new releases have been put back to winter. Presumably due to COVID in India. Well, we were discussing this earlier, isn't it? They pushed it
We have
back.
a message from our distributors, yeah.
And we've got some, well, can't think of what dates.
I was busy at the time working. I didn't realise this. I heard it in the background when Matt and Phil were talking about it, but one of us had to work, so
Yeah.
I didn't catch the dates.
Russell, you need to buy a Whippet, quick. That's all I'm going to say to you. Buy the Whippet, quick.
Is the Whippet in the offers only one? Why do you want two?
We can get you an old squadron of Whippets.
What is that?
Yeah, get it. Buy Whippet. Have a look. And his only look now. Stop it. Stop it.
There is two, but I never changed it, did I?
There might be 3 or 4, you don't know.
There's two. Unless you alter the figures.
Peter says, thanks for the thoughts on Fleabay. I am likely to be parting company with them, but that will be the PM models gain. Can I sell my models on the forum then? No, because you're basically a business. We don't allow that. Yeah, I think what it was like Opel and Vauxhall. It was just that it wasn't Spanish was Opel.
No, German.
German was the Opel side of it, and they sort of had the European name for it, and a bit like the old Snickers situation and Mars Bar. We had our way of calling it and everything, and then when we all became one, it was just one of those things that never sort of went across. So over here, it was always known as a Vauxhall. On the continent, it was always Opel, wasn't it?
It was all thingy through GM though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all General Motors in the US. So
brands, didn't they? So
yeah.
I think they just kept it as well. What's up with that?
Yes, when the car giants went around buying everything.
Better put one in stock because one's already sold. Oh dear.
Christian, hello from Chile. Hello.
Hello, Chile.
Wants to know about shipping to his country. Yes, via PM.
Yep.
If you go via the PM store, they'll ship anywhere you like.
Can do it.
We'll ship to Chile.
We'll ship to Chile. We never have a problem getting stuff to Chile.
No, very good postal service in Chile. Actually, going back to that Whippet, I've built that kit and it's a very nice kit.
It is.
It is. No, it is. It's really nicely designed from me. It's quite an easy build as well. It's not overly complicated. Are you going back to the future?
Yeah, Russell, there's another one in stock if you wanted to.
You've already bought it.
Yeah.
Is Phil going to be reviewing all the kits that Matt and Andy has got sat on their desk?
I think he's definitely going to. Well, you don't really need to review the B17.
Yeah,
I don't need to do the F4 and the B17 because I've done them in other versions of.
We'll send you a Crusader
and a
Helldiver because I've got an. I'll send you my Crusader.
You've done an F4 anyway, haven't you? So
yeah, the F4's the same, and so's the B17 apart from the front end and a bit on the tail.
How about that?
What, the little baby one, 72nd one?
Yeah, it's their first.
Second leopard.
Second kit, yeah.
And if you get out in that one, freebies, have a look. But don't tell the public.
Yes, a live unboxing.
If we had a decent overhead, we could.
Got a photo etch.
That's it.
Fine.
It'll be little photo etch.
God, yeah. Oh, photo etch.
Tidy.
That's really nice, actually.
Just get a metal barrel. Can't be in the box.
We do that so we can hide it, so people can't see.
Would you like to review a leopard?
Leopard.
Oh, what you found?
No, it's a bit of photo etch.
Hey, look, sneaky peeps.
Photo etch and some wire.
And a full engine, full fighting compartment. 70-second scale.
And a set of magnifiers to go with it to do it.
Micro tweezers out.
Look, really nice kit, actually.
You need one of those things that surgeons use, with a machine. You look through the goggles.
Yeah. Even though it's 70-second, it's not exactly a small tank, is it, in real life? What do we think to the new Charlie tank, then?
What, the 3, Mark 3?
Pin marks?
Yeah, they're not going to pin marks, they're not. That's just mine. Yeah, what do you think to it?
Well, it seems to be all right, isn't it? It's a bit like the other one. It's all internal stuff, really, isn't it? Obviously a new gun, but...
It's so that they can upgrade the software rather than...
The tank.
The tank into so they can...
So it's still a Charlie 2, really. But
it's got an upgraded engine, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's got an upgraded gun because it's smooth bore.
Yeah, it's got the
smart ammunition job now, isn't it?
So use NATO ammunition, can't they? Which we've resisted doing for.
Well,
decades.
It's a bit like being pint and litres, isn't it? We wouldn't give it up.
Yeah. Does that mean they can't use? What is it we use? Hesh is it that we use that they can't use?
Something like that, yeah.
Does that mean we can't use that anymore? Is it Hesh that we used? There was one round, wasn't it, that ours, because it was rifled, it could fire that the
smooth balls can't.
Is it electric? Hey,
Electric gun.
Is it no, the tank, is it hybrid?
Yeah, it has to be a hybrid now. Can't be diesel because it's not green.
Be quiet though, wouldn't it? Be able to sneak around.
Yeah, like hybrid mouse.
An hybrid mouse.
That had two great big diesel engines and an electric motor in the back of it. Or Ferdinand, whatever it was. Was that mouse hybrid?
I thought it was a Tiger, wasn't it? Tiger 2. One of them was electric, wasn't it?
The Ferdinand did.
Yeah. Can you imagine the size of the batteries to power up? How many tons is a Charlie? 60-ton tank, is it?
60-ton, yeah.
Directly from the diesel engines
You'd need like U-boat batteries, wouldn't you? I don't know. Yeah.
It's overcomplicating things, isn't it?
Roger's bought the tank. He says he's
Thank you,
ordered the
Roger.
tank. Means a lot to the person who was driving it in 1946.
Cool.
Oh, brilliant.
Hope to build it for him. Cool.
Yeah, it's be an enjoyable build as well. Actually, it's a nice build. So
The funny thing is, going back to that Charlie 3, it's at one point they're on about buying the Leopards, weren't they?
Yeah.
So we were going to buy Leopard tanks and ditch the Charlies. It was like as if that would ever stand up. I can't imagine that ever happening, but because it's now going to be the Charlie 3 and the Ajax, isn't it, system?
yeah, just nod.
Is that
You
for
should
cleaning?
know. You're a military man. You're an infantry man.
Ooh, me.
Is Ajax for cleaning it then, or?
But Ajax is the new replacement, isn't it, for basically the Warrior,
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
with all the different versions of it, isn't it?
Can you still buy Ajax?
Maybe.
Creaming,
The clean
creaming
version for
Hey,
scouring.
I can't even say it. Never mind.
I bet you can.
Use it. So Peter's put a thing up, Philip, on chat.
Yes.
Have you read it?
No, because I'm on the other chat. Hold on.
All right. But I am confused. Can you clarify, chaps? Are we able to sell models on the for sale wanted section on the forum? I am not an eBay store, by the way. I have 2 or 3 models, too many, mainly ICM MiG-25s.
Yeah, but if you've got a pile of MiG-25s, surely that's like bordering trade. The whole point of doing it through the site is it's just supposed to be a way of members just getting rid of, swapping over various kits. If you're using it all the time, like basically a store, then that's not on, as we've always said, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, because normally it's just people just offloading some of their stuff in the buy and sell section.
Yeah.
So if you're on eBay flogging all the time and then wanted to switch that over to doing it on the forum, then it wouldn't be allowed under our terms and conditions.
If it's genuinely your own stash,
Yeah.
that you
that's fine.
that you
Yeah.
want to flog.
If you're buying in and then reselling, technically, then that's under trade as far as we're concerned with it, and we don't allow trade in there.
Yeah.
So,
No.
but obviously, there's a load of terms and conditions about doing it anyway, so you have to read up on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one that says, like, if Andy needs plasma at some point, you have to give it to him,
Yeah.
and bone marrow and stuff.
And kidneys.
Ooh. That looks fiddly. Whatever you're doing.
Yeah, that's me trying to get that stuff to bend, not knowing it that well. And the reason I'm taking my time there is that it's got a buckle, so the resin's thicker because it's got the buckle printed into it. So I didn't want to bend it and snap it. But at this point, I've actually got the hang of it now. So I'm using super glue, and then you sort of bend it a bit, and it will conform. As you work the resin, it becomes really malleable and quite floppy. It's a good shot of my head there, clearly. I forgot to edit that to a different angle. Oh, I have there. It's why it's a poor camera shot, different shot. So, but yeah, try not to do it in one. You just need to bend it and work it a little bit, and it will conform.
I think somebody put a question up earlier about heating it up.
Yeah, about using hot water because it's resin. Does that make it floppy? I don't know. I've never tried it in hot water.
That's fine then, Peter. If it's your own stuff out of your own stash, then yeah, you're fine to sell it on the forum. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone have a 48 Seabenin by any chance? Oh, good luck with that, Paul. Ooh. That's the old classic airframes kit. That's Andy's got a 48 Gannet he'll sell anybody for the right price. He's flown for that.
No, I don't.
I'll be stash reading again. So, I think we're on about eBay and all the
Yes,
ins
they're
and
on
outs.
about tanks now being semi-electric in here. Porsche version of the Tiger had a hybrid drive.
Yeah, well, that's what they turned into the third now, wasn't it?
On the Leopards, electric.
I thought so. These be diesel engines, aren't they? Apart from the Murica ones, which are
Gas turbine,
gas turbines, yeah.
which are great when you stand behind them.
It's like standing behind a jet.
Yeah, it warms you up.
You don't want to be somebody behind it sheltering, using the tank for.
To be honest, they have quite good heaty things in there. They got clever stuff in the back of those which cool it down before it comes out. So you can't throw like heat-seeking stuff at them, and they don't show up so much on IR, but you still get a bit of a nice smell, that nice jet smell.
Yeah, kerosene.
Yeah, the bit that makes your eyes water and your nose bleed.
How flammable are they then?
How what?
Flammable are they?
Well, if you don't forget the avgas type things, it's not flammable, is it? It doesn't burn particularly well. It's like diesel.
Oh right, I don't know. I'm just asking.
Yeah, no.
If you get a hit, do you know what I mean? Does it go up like an old Sherman used to?
No, it's not like that. Not on those ones, because they use the similar type of fuel that the Navy use, isn't it? I can't remember what it is now. JP, whatever it is. The one that's not very flammable. So. JP4 or JP5, one or the other, but yeah.
Hey, good mileage to the gallon.
I think you don't care though in that job, do you? Somebody else taxpayers' money.
Yeah. I don't know. You care if you run out of fuel. Have a tanker following you around or whatever it is.
Jeff says, Phil and team, what is the most obscure tank or AFV you've ever built?
Ooh.
Tiger 1.
Yeah. Nobody ever built a Tiger 1.
Obscure, crap. I used to do loads in
Yeah, I'm trying to think now. You've got me thinking. Jeez.
I've got in my stash, which I won't say obscure, but it's all right, you don't see it very often, is the Panzer IV with bridge laying.
Yeah.
With the bridge.
I know what you mean. That's trumpet kit.
Yeah, trumpet kit. Yeah, but you don't see it very often, do you? Don't see it.
No.
I've never seen one built.
No. No, you don't. I wonder if there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
I tell you what is the funniest looking probably tank. The Swedish thing with a really low gun that seems like if it goes in a ditch it'll wedge itself.
Oh, the anti-tank where it goes up and down off the suspension.
But it's very sort of wedgy shaped.
Yeah, I know the one you mean.
You know the one I mean, don't you?
Something.
Yeah. Not owned one and not thingy, but
no.
Don't know.
I don't know really, because
see, mine have all played safe. You think out of my video builds, I've done the Panzer IV, I've done a Sherman, I've done the Mark IV, I've done the Terminator thing, whatever it's called. Can't remember what the designation is of that.
Yeah.
What else have we done? We've done the
McCarver.
Yeah. Which is a nice kit actually. That's the old artillery kit. That is.
Yeah. An S tank. Yeah, it is, David. Thank you. An S tank. Thank you. Yeah.
I was close with the S1.
Yeah, you was. Yeah.
But I mean, I used to predominantly build German armour, and I'd build all different variants. Yeah, so like the SDKs, ZZs. So like they do that many different versions of them. So like 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, 11s, 12s, 13s, 14s, 15s, 16s.
Yeah, they did a lot of versions.
A lot of different versions of them. Then modified versions of those with
that was Dragon.
Yeah, Dragon. Yeah, with launchers on the side of them or turrets on them.
Just thinking now though, I know for obscure tanks again, they do a lot of object such and such, which are like the old Russian sort of prototypes and stuff. There's a lot of them knocking around, which are a bit, the one with the double tracks that Tackle used to do, and somebody else Panda did it.
Yeah. And Musin will bring out a lot of weird and wonderful things, don't they?
Yeah. But actually, my stash, do you know what? Mine's pretty safe. Probably the most obscure thing I've got is that Tamiya Char 2B, the French
that
we've got in.
One of them, yeah.
I won't say it's obscure, it's, I don't know, I think, like you built that Mark IV tank, the Tamiya Mark IV, didn't you, when you first came out?
Yeah.
I think like before that there was the old Ebra kits, was it? And they were the only World War One tanks in 30-50
Yeah.
And that was for decades.
Well, World War One tanks were just completely overlooked, really, weren't they? Until the anniversary sort of come along, and everyone sort of remembered it, I think.
Well, that's what I was going to say. But World War One aircraft was the same.
Yeah.
It was like World War One was, like you say, was really overlooked because everything was World War Two, and then it kind of became fashionable. Probably like you said when you started building your Mark IV, and then Wing started to bring out.
It was the 100th anniversary, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I think it sparked people's sort of interest in that.
I think it was until the anniversary came up, the 100th anniversary, is that most people just overlooked it. They did, what was that company that did the little 72nd World War One tanks?
Masterbox do some.
That was it. Was it Masterbox always did them?
Yeah.
But they had that sort of little niche market for doing them.
And then,
but as I say, in 35th, it was just, really, no one really went near it, did it?
Airfix did a 76 one from God knows, probably the 60s, didn't they? That was probably the first. Matchbox never touched World War One stuff, did they?
No.
I think the closest they got was the Char B2 and the FD17 on that little French street diorama thing they did. But that was kind of not really World War One, was it? So some interesting things there, wasn't it? The dawn of mechanised armour.
It was, yeah.
You know, like obviously with the armoured cars, the Lanchester, Copper State.
And the Rolls Royce one, wasn't it?
A few others have bought some. Obviously, Mini Art's got the Austin, haven't they? They're all an Austin one. And
Copper State have done built their business around it, haven't they? Doing the old cars and the aircraft and everything.
But yeah, I mean, for such a massive conflict that it was very till recently, really, very underrepresented in kit form, I suppose, and stuff.
Tammy, fantastic. Just watching Phil's video of that cockpit going together.
Tamiya, though, isn't it? It literally is it's always nice to build Tamiya cockpits because they always go together really well. And to be honest, at that point, I don't know if there's even any glue holding that together. I don't know if I've glued it yet, but I had it together with no glue, so I just literally tapped a couple of corners to hold it all together, but there's no real glue was holding that together. It's funny how it sort of all locks in, but all of their World War II stuff like this, the 32nd does it the same way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good stuff on that one. There was a question just then, but I think what's all the bottles next to you, Matt?
Right.
Just glad you asked.
Yeah.
Glad you are. Hold on, I'll put you on full screen. There you go.
Just because we've had an AK restock, we better show. Obviously, we've already stocked this, so we've got restocks of the Black Widow glue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We now got the magnet one in.
Yeah.
So we're stocking the magnet glue, and we also stock the eraser.
Cool. So that's debonder, yeah?
That's the debonder one. So yeah, the eraser is the debonder. So we stock them. And I've bought in, because we were talking about this, and somebody asked about the Gen 3 primers.
Yeah.
And I've just picked up one. Well, that's the thinners, by the way. That's the Gen 3 thinner.
These are just trial.
These are trial. They're not on the store because we want to see what they're like. So I've got some primers in that I'm going to try. So obviously I am now building the cockpit off the Lancaster front end. So I'm going to use some of the primers on the inside and see how they go. And also on my figure that I'm doing as well is a bit of, zenithal highlighting, shall we say, and see how they go. And also I've got, because we was on about the Gen 3 paints, because I've got the Airfix Cromwell tank that I'm going to build. I've got the paint set in Gen 3 for them.
Right.
So I want to give them a whirl and a few of the figure sets that will go with some stuff that's going with it. So the British and some flesh and skin. So which I think I'll probably use that set as well on that figure that I'm doing, that German figure.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting statement on the bottom.
What, this primer don't work?
No.
New formula?
No, Bill, that.
Above it? What, black primer?
No.
Where am I looking?
At the bottom of the label.
Yeah. Where am I looking? Reading glasses and I don't own any.
It says, our acrylic paints are only developed by AK Interactive in our own factory.
Oh, right, that bit. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, but how many times have people said, oh, they're the same
It's
as...
reboxed of somebody else.
Mind you, then the other ones might be made in their factory. So it still comes out the same factory. It just happens to be AK's factory.
Could be their factory, yeah.
So anyway, going back to our little primers and stuff, if they are any good, obviously I'll get you some in, you can test.
Yeah.
And we'll probably stock them. Because I think these are going to take over from the other ones that we've got in that I tried not long ago. Don't smell, does it?
Yeah.
Does it say the instructions are leaving it before you can sand it? Because it did on the other one.
Is it flammable?
No. Just new formula.
Acrylic paint to be applied with a brush or airbrush. Shake thoroughly before use. Let dry 24 hours.
Same as the
It
other
can
one.
be thinned with acrylic thinner.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Or Vallejo. Probably. So yeah, I'll give it a blast and
Yes.
see how we get on with it.
Yes. 9bolt says, do they do an accelerator for their super glue in a pump bottle, like Zap Kicker speeds up things? Do they do a version of?
I think they do an accelerator, yes. I think they do. We don't stock it yet, but
Yeah.
I think they do.
We'll get that next time if they do.
Yeah, but the eraser's pretty good. I've used it. And especially if you're using the black glue as well, because obviously you can see where you've been.
Yes, and it's a bit thicker as well. It's got a nice
Yeah.
grip to it.
Just top tip, as I've read on the thing, make sure you give it a good shake before you use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, I like the magnet as well. I think that's quite a nice glue. And me and you've had ours for quite a while, and they're still
Got to be
good,
over 6 months now. We've been playing with them, and they've been fine.
So-
Still works, yeah.
It's a bit crusty at the top, but it still does the job. And you get a bit of like 10-second wiggle room as well, just before it grips. You ain't got none of that yet.
No.
No, you will have.
Not yet.
But by the time he leaves here, he'll have some.
I will.
if we're not sold out. So yeah, that's what this little pile of is here. Sample stuff for me to try.
Have you tried a PTFE bottle? What's that? Isn't that tape? PTFE tape?
That's plastic. That's plastic, isn't it?
PTFE is, yeah. Need a drink. David needs a drink. Well, we're that bad. As in for what though? Have we
Zapper
tried-
seeps through everything, including HDPE. I will keep my mouth shut because HDPE is pretty much impervious to everything, and I know that because, to be honest, all our bottles are made of it. And to prove the point, this here is that stuff which will eat through anything, which is the tool cleaner one, and it's in one of those bottles, and it's absolutely fine. And it's been in there for months. So, because the bottles I use are HDPE as well. And I have all my thinners in it and absolutely everything. It's got lacquer thinners in the bottles. So, and so far, and these have all been in here for about a year now, and they haven't eaten through any of my bottles.
No, I use dropper bottles I bought as well, and put lacquer in it just for cleaning and thinning and stuff. And
I use drop bottles that Matt bought as well.
yeah, they're good though, isn't
Yeah, fine, yeah. Just the tops go crack, don't they? But
don't mind
I
them.
might know.
Have they?
Probably from me pulling them off to get more stuff in it.
To fill them up.
Yeah.
That is the problem, isn't it, with the dropper bottles? About
Yeah.
refilling them.
Yeah.
That's why you need a proper one like this you see with a screw top, which are
Yes.
available from our stores. Shameless plug. Look, screw top, and you've got an open and close at the top.
Do you know what? Do you know something, Phil? Now you've mentioned that, I never even thought about actually using them.
Clearly.
Because they're actually bigger
Yeah.
than the ones I use. Because I use the 10mm ones.
Jesus, filling it up every 2 minutes. Yeah.
And the screw top on. Andy, go and get some. Well, no, I mean, obviously for levelling thinner and rapid thinner and all that, I think they're ideal because otherwise you're decanting with a bloody pipette, you're pouring it into something else, and with a dropper bottle, 1, 2, 3 drops, or if you're cleaning your airbrush, and I just find them a lot easier to use, to be honest. So
I never even thought that.
I didn't either. How bad
Yeah, I
it was.
wouldn't mind, but they've got a warehouse full of them there. I'll send you up some stuff. So,
Well, no need. We've got a warehouse full.
I was going to say, I don't know which section you got them in. Oh, there they are.
They're somewhere. They're exactly the same place as they on yours.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it, really?
Watch it. Now he's done that. We're not
they're
having
easy fill as well because they're wide necks. So it's like,
Yeah.
yes. And obviously they do fit your wash bottles as well. So
Have you got a lot of them.
I have actually, yes.
Oh, good. Good job.
Could do with sending some of them up as well next week then, because
Yeah.
we ain't got many left.
But again, for acrylic thinners or whatever you want to put them, they're just ideal. I think they're a really good idea. Which, not so much for, I would say, the primers, but again, you know, for that's got a dropper bottle up.
Yeah.
So are they not that size? What size are them? Because these are their own thin ones. How many much to get in here?
What's that? 200 ml?
Yeah, I think so.
Gotta
Did
be
they say 100? I've seen it somewhere on the thing. I was reading it earlier. Did I see it? 100 mil. These are 100. What are those?
These are 50.
They're 50, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are 100. Yeah, interesting.
He says here, yes, he's put the kicker in my bottles and apparently it's still gone through. I've never known that. I must admit.
Right.
So, I don't know quite what kicker is then, but if that, not being funny, this stuff is probably the hottest product I've ever seen. It's lethal.
Kicker's acetone, isn't it?
Is it? I thought Honda was acetone. We discussed last
Yeah,
night.
debonder's acetone, isn't it? I don't know what kicker is.
Kicker just smells. What's in kicker?
Alien blood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. Doesn't have any ingredients. So, whichever one it is. Description, limitations, applications.
Does kicker actually come in plastic bottles?
No, it comes in cans.
It always comes in cans, yeah.
Mind you, didn't you used to get the pump action one?
Yeah.
Is that still in a can?
It's hydrocarbon, that's why.
It's not gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna last long then in a plastic bottle, is it?
No. Yeah, I think it needs probably to be in a metal container.
Yeah.
Because your hydrocarbons will go through plastic no matter what it is.
It's not good stuff, is it, that kicker? Full stop.
Yeah, that is the question. Why would you take it out though? Why would you need it out?
Yeah.
So just put in there. I can't. Why would you? Yeah, because if you do, sometimes I do. I literally will do this and then just into the can if I want a brush full and then brush it out.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't decant the entire thing. That's for certain.
They're also, somebody said they come in glass bottles as well, don't they?
Don't know.
Yeah.
Because if it's a hydrocarbon, it will go for everything, isn't it? That's the trouble.
Chris just put a question up before it goes. What's best to blend with your washers to break the surface tension?
If you've got a glossy surface, just add a drop or two of washing up liquid or dishwater soap into it, and it'll just make it flow, go further. Don't put too much in because you're just going to end up with a frothy mess. But
you can do the same with any sort of like acrylic paints. You can sort of like do the same kind, just a little drop of washing up liquid, and it'll sort of break the surface tension if you put it in.
Don't use, for my wash anyway, don't put anything else in it like airbrush cleaners and stuff, because what happens is it will attack your paint surface then and it will get stuck. Because I had this the other day. Somebody mentioned to me that they'd added the wash and it stuck to their model, but it turns out they put airbrush cleaner in with it, and it was over an acrylic surface. So the airbrush cleaner had attacked the plastic, the painted finish, and it probably etched into it. That's what the problem was. And like I said, if you tried it with dishwater soap, because he's in the US, we call it washing up liquid over here, and that was it. But literally, when you do it, just get a cocktail stick and put a tiny amount. If you put too much in there, it will just froth. It will just end up with tons of it.
Yeah.
So, because technically the wash actually has a like a degreasing agent into it. So that basically helps with the flow. Otherwise, it just beads up on your stuff. So it helps with the flow and makes it get into the panel lines and into the riveting and all the rest of it. So yes.
Or mucky hand wash soap.
Yes.
Russell was asking about. I presume he's bought the Whippet, and about the paint for a Whippet.
Who?
Russell.
Yeah. AK do a good range of World War One paints.
Do they? Not in real colour, they don't, because there's no such. thing, I don't think. They do
Yeah,
World
the
War
brown.
Two.
They do World War One brown.
I don't think they do. And Whippets weren't bright. I
They're
don't know.
greeny colour.
They were a greeny colour. Thing is, I remember when I built it, Russell, it was like, it was a pain in the backside to find the colour because nobody knows, I don't think. I will have a look and we'll let you know, but he's off.
Mm.
He's off like Usain Bolt.
Maisie can move when he has to. Took him 20 minutes to get out of your car earlier. Apparently, Ken's got a kicker and it's got a load of stuff which I won't even try and mention into it as well. I think, don't forget, is that kicker, there's different versions and types all out there because some of them turn white. Like kicker, their one, Zapagap's kicker, is awful. It makes everything turn white and chalky and it's just naff. This was been using Everbuild's Mitre Fast stuff because it's literally clean. You can spray it over your completed model and over your clear parts and it doesn't affect anything. The best one, though, which unfortunately the company's no longer available, is Vital Bond. But the company's gone bust now, so...
Yeah. I think he's got the colours.
Is he going through the whippet? Olive drab.
I think it's khaki drab.
Khaki drab.
It's got to be one or the other, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
It'll probably be in ammo anyway, won't it?
I think it is in ammo.
It's all in ammo colours, so you might have to do a bit of cross-referencing. But yes.
Let's have a look.
Green.
Just give us 2 secs. The dog's making a funny noise. I'll just make sure she's all right. You're right there, mate. What's that?
What's she been eating?
I don't know. That's what I thought. What's that, dude? You want to come say hello?
There you go. Beautiful. Defo khaki drab with the granny out of it.
Put your hair up. That's it.
There, on here it says, which
What's
will
that?
be...
How do you stop this shutting itself down? Proper annoying.
It just says olive drab. And they're using
I don't think it's olive drab.
AK colours.
Oh, right.
And they're saying MC211.
Which is the acrylic.
Yeah.
I don't think it's olive drab. I thought they were different. I thought khaki drab, like Peter said. James is going to use real colour dark earth and dark green on the new HK Lancaster. They just came back into stock. I'm going to use dark green and dark earth as well on my Lancaster.
Mm-hmm.
And the interior green, I'm trying that. And then I'm going to pick what colour to use for the black. I'm undecided. I've got ideas what I'm going to use for that. So it'd be quite interesting. Is she all right?
She's fine. She was chewing her bone down there. I think her bit got stuck.
Oh, right. Well, she just wanted to come on.
Or probably just wanted to be on camera as normal.
I've had this in my stash since it first came out.
You should build it. It's a really, really nice kit.
Yeah.
And not an hard build either. It's, typical Meng, isn't it? I think we need to champion Meng more. I like Meng.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. Oh, look, Nathan's in. Let's ask him.
Yeah, what was the question again? Oh, that's it. Lightnings, wasn't it?
Yeah, we've already done it there, haven't we? We've done it.
Yes.
Afternoon, Nathan. I've got a job to do for you, apparently.
It's like winging its way to you.
Yeah. It's not, what, is that Stegosaurus one or Tyrannosaurus or whatever they call it?
It's a Tyrannosaurus TS.
TS, is it? Oh,
TS range. Yes, this is a 1-to-1 scale Springer. With mottling. It's got mottling spots. Needs a haircut.
You should sit there all day letting you play with it.
Oh, yeah, she will do, which she often does. You're a complete time waster, aren't you? Look. It's the gag. Yes.
Where's Lola up on bed? Sleep.
Yeah, she'll be a kit.
So,
yeah, where's your mate? It'll be down in about half hour though, won't it? Because it's you know what? I won't say it.
No, better not say it.
Yes. Hello to Argentina. Hello with the Pucara. Absolutely. Buenos Aires.
This is definitely an underused aircraft, isn't it, Pucara? Didn't sort of.
The Uruguay did it.
Yeah, but it's sort of, yeah.
Oh, look, Carl's got his prototype Concorde. Cool.
Magic, cool.
Good stuff.
Hmm.
So what's next steps then on your Zero? Where we're going to be next? Painting, priming?
Priming next. I did all the re-riveting earlier, so it's re-riveted a couple of areas because obviously this is where you get the shim that goes in the top. That's been re-riveted. Re-riveted underneath. That's been done as well. So we're pretty much all there. So the nice thing is it's all one colour. So I'm going to mask off the front here. I've masked off the top. So literally we are ready for primer. I'll get that masked up under there. And then primer, top coat goes on. I'm probably not going to depreciate it or anything else like that because it's got little tiny riveting jobs everywhere. So I'm thinking we'll go to town on that with weathering washes and things. So, and oils and stuff.
Is it the same colour top and bottom, is it?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, one colour fits all. Brilliant.
All right, okay.
Got to be the easiest paint job ever, isn't it? And the nice thing is, because the front end is black, it's separate. No, you don't even have to mask that.
Where's the pilot?
He's in the box. He's here.
So you're not going to do a live painting demo then this afternoon?
No, I can't do it this afternoon because he's still on the sprue. So, but yeah, painting wise, to be honest, it's quite boring as in painting it. It's just because it's one colour. But then I think breaking it all up and making it look nice will be very good. So, but yeah, somebody mentioned the other day, which is quite an interesting point. They were saying about obviously seen a few museums and they do look white. But my point to this is, because the one that I've seen as well was more white than the colours they're giving here. But this may be because the museum hasn't got the colour, and a lot of them were painted a long time ago when no one really cared that much, if that's the right thing to say.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And again, it is that thing, they used to fade. You know, naval aircraft notoriously fade. And I was trying to explain this to somebody the other day that aircraft, you know, they don't, when they're up in the air and they're up at 10,000 feet, the sun is a lot stronger and they bleach. You know, and the paints in those days weren't as strong as and probably as robust as modern paints and stuff like that. So I think that's where a lot of the confusion over this colours come from. It's probably its own out the factory colours, quite correct, but very rapidly it would bleach down.
I think we've said it before though that the chances of Tamiya getting a Japanese Zero wrong are about zero.
Well, you'd hope so, wouldn't you?
You would have thought so, because let's face it, you know, it's their home market. They would have been slated.
I was about to say exactly the same. It's their home market, and I think they'd, you know, they'd know about it if it was the wrong colour-ish. Or it's going to be as close as damn it, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
And same with guns, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I bet you put the two guns and the Tamiya colours, they're going to be close.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even AK do Japanese colours, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, they're the grey.
Don't know, you know.
They do tea.
They do tea. Tea brown. No, they do. It's called, isn't it? Tea is a...
Yeah, they do tea brown, yeah.
Yeah. Amber grey. Is that what it's called? Is it amber grey?
Amber grey. I've seen it range from greeny grey.
No, they do. They do quite a lot in here.
Oh, you got your pamphlet out.
Yeah. So they've got that. I can't even, not going to try and pronounce it, but they've got grey green, grey indigo. Is that olive brown?
Hey, do you want me to send some real paints down then?
You're quite correct. RC335 tea colour.
Yeah, there you go. Now, is that milky tea?
Well, this is it. It depends.
Definitely not.
Is that brewer's tea?
Hey, they called builder's tea.
Builder's tea.
I think that's tea with that milk, to be honest with you.
All right.
It's very dark.
Because I know on the Attacker range they do, the military tank colours.
Green tea.
Green tea, yeah. There's
green tea.
They do.
Chamomile.
Chamomile, yeah. Peppermint.
Peppermint. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yes, they've got quite a few. So they do the black green, which I assume is the nose colour of this. And again, weirdly, they do the interior cockpits. They do the
Yes.
Nakajima version, and the Mitsubishi interior greens.
Yeah. If only you'd have waited.
Well, to be honest, apparently mine's correct because this is the darker green. The Nakajima one's the darker green.
Right.
Over the lighter green is the Mitsubishi one.
So that's cockpit XF71 is Mitsubishi.
Is Nakajima.
Nakajima, sorry. What are you doing? Which one are you doing?
I'm doing the Nakajima one. Yeah.
So you've done it 71 then, yeah.
So yes.
Oh, interesting. Isn't it? Because that's the one people use as RAF.
Yeah, because it's not that far out, is it?
It's not a lot of difference, I don't think. No, I'll check. You know, when I obviously paint my Lancaster with its RAF interior green, I will check with XF71 and I'll check with Attacker's RAF.
Funny enough, they've actually listed the Have Glass, you know, that modern thing that F-35s are painted in and F-16s, as Japanese. Weirdly.
Right.
Don't know why, but yeah, they've listed that as a Japanese colour.
Don't think I did.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I didn't.
So, yes.
Again, it's one of them rabbit holes you just don't want to go down into.
This is it. I really think people get far too hung up on colours.
What aircraft would Japanese do have glass? F-16s?
A Mitsubishi F1.
Yeah, I was going to say they don't have F-16s, do they? They have, but they have got the F-35 though, or will be. Have they got it yet? I don't know. Anybody in chat know? I don't know if they've had those yet.
So what do they have? F-15s?
No. Yeah, they have F-15s, F4s, and the Mitsubishi F1s, isn't it? Which is like an F-16 hybrid.
So did they ever paint F-15s in have glass?
No, don't think so.
So what would Japanese use have glass for?
Well, they have got F-35s coming, haven't they?
Yeah, but that's coming though, isn't it? It's not.
Or perhaps they've
a few F-35. Nathan said it.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go then. So it's for that few that they've got.
Yeah,
but have glass. Which have glass is it? Have glass 1 or?
Well, this is have glass 5, isn't it? Is the one that I did my F-16 in. Say there's different versions of have glass now.
I was going to say that's going to be one of them colours for paint manufacturers. It's just going to be an absolute minefield, isn't it?
Because it weathers as well. By its nature, it's very textured paint 'cause it absorbs.
Yeah,
and it fades like absolute buggery.
But the metallic in it as well, isn't it? Because it can just look like a crappy metal flake.
Yeah.
Rather than what it's supposed to, because it's got too big a pigment in it.
Graham says they lost one on the flight back to Japan over the Pacific.
Is that?
That was an expensive.
Yeah, Jesus. There goes their no claims bonus. Have you had a chance to try the new display paints? I only knew about them about 2 days ago.
Blimey, yeah. No. I could say that first. We have a display of doing paints. Did you know that?
Only what was mentioned on
chat
the other day.
Yeah, it was on
apparently it's lacquer paints.
Just talk about jumping on the bandwagon.
Well, do you know what? If you look what display have been kicking out recently is in tool-wise, it seems to be they're copying a lot of other people now where they used to lead the way. So I think they're just jumping on it. My problem is let's face it, display to get older is bad at the best of times, let alone paint. Can you imagine waiting for paint to turn up?
But you're not looking at the bigger picture here, are you? Because obviously other people will be rebranding their paint.
Well, yeah, maybe. Is that what we're going to see?
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
Allegedly. I wonder if display are rebranding other companies' paints.
Look, James Pub. Are Display and main partners? No, Display just work with.
Display are technically a manufacturer. Like, not being funny, we could have a PM Models screw cutters, and they will put, for a price, they will do it. I know they will, because might have looked into it. But if you wanted to, you can have anything. They will, put your name on anything you like.
Yeah. Yeah, and we sell the main branded ones because they're easier to get than the actual display ones, to be honest. That's why we've got the main branded display tools. Because it's what we can get from our suppliers. Because we can't get display really without dealing with direct, can we? And it's a bit awkward, isn't it? We have looked into it before.
Yeah.
So,
Display's got a very interesting business model, shall we say, for being a stockist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into the depths of it, but it's a bit weird.
But the tools are good.
Yeah, the gear's good.
Get round
it's a bit eBay-ish, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, but Chinese eBay-ish.
I like the way you sneeze and your mic's clicked now. You went quiet for a second.
I know, sorry, I did turn away. Nigel says, does it come in red anodized bottles?
Well, yeah, you think, very expensive res anodized bottles.
Do you know what? It'd be interesting to see actually what they're doing. Does anybody actually put up the paint colours they're doing? Or is it just
everyone's spoken about it and said to me, "Oh, have you seen?" But I haven't seen a single colour, a picture of a bottle yet, or a list of paints, or I've been told it's lacquers, but that's all sort of second-hand thing. But
it could be
car colours,
or Gundam, or
it could be anything. Yeah, we'll have to. I say the chances of them coming over here are going to be slim, probably because of labelling, health and safety.
Yeah.
Usual things that we, have to be sorted before we can sell them in the UK. But it'll be interesting to see what they're doing. So, yeah.
So apparently somebody's done a YouTube video on them.
Oh, right, okay.
So apparently there is a video on them. Well, no, we're not stocking them. I'll tell you that now. Because we're done with paint. We're going to get our nice acrylic range sorted and that's it. I'm not doing another bloody rack of paint. No, we're not. I'm putting my foot down. I've spent a fortune on paint this last couple of years. That'll do now.
Paint sells. Paint's a good seller. No, we do need to draw a line somewhere in the sand of what we're
no longer a model making company. We're just going to be a paint factory.
Run out of room. But people like paint. I mean, you put in chat, you put it out there. Do people like to buy paint? And about half of them will be here. So, like I said, I don't think we'll be able to stock display paint over here anyway because of labellings and all that rubbish, especially being lacquers as well.
Also, I'm not being funny, the supply problem with dealing with them is an absolute nightmare. So can you imagine it, that you get an order and you might not see a restock for whenever? That's the trouble.
Yeah, it is. That's the thing with paints as well. You do need a good...
It's got to be consistency. That was one of the things we looked at when we took on the AK Real Colours. It was almost... I think that was the second question we asked was about lead times, availability, because you don't want to have a paint that you just can't get any of.
Ooh. What's Graham just put? Display paint bottles look like Modo. Who are Modo? Paint bottles, who are they? Never heard of... You heard of Modo?
No.
No, I've not.
Apparently they're just saying here it's a very basic colour range.
Right. As in what, primaries and secondaries, you mean?
I don't know. So it looks like nice paint, but very basic colour range.
Somebody contacted us about paint, didn't they? Can you remember?
To be honest, we had another email from them only last week.
Oh, not to me.
Yeah, I did. I had it come through mine, and it was like following up about, no, we still don't want it.
Not our type of range, though, is it?
No, it's more for...
It's cars and things, really, isn't it? And Gundam and stuff, isn't it? Yeah.
It weren't something we'd really stock anyway. Yeah.
I think I looked at the prices of them as well, and it was a bit expensive.
Look, Nathan's sticking with Humbrol.
It's going to come back. I reckon by the end of this decade, Humbrol will be the back in. Enamels will make a comeback. Because you think over the last 10 years, acrylics have gone from everybody will be using acrylics because obviously everything else kills the planet, to now everyone's using lacquers. And I didn't see that coming. I never thought lacquers would be as popular as it is now.
Nathan's talking about Humbrol acrylics.
What, the little jars you get, the starter sets?
Yeah, starter set packs, that's what, yeah. We should make him build a model and use them.
Yes. I think that's the thing. Like Barry saying on here about the tinlets. If they got rid of the tinlets, it wouldn't be so bad. But the tinlets are just horrible things at the best of times. I know they're great for transportation, but it's very 1960s.
But do you know how we were talking about you can't put kicker into plastic bottles?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the same reason.
Glass. Why can't you go in a glass jar like a tammy jar? Perfect for that. At least you could get it out of the jar.
Yeah, true. That's same.
Right, no, don't you start. What is wrong with that bone? You're all like dying a death with it. Would you like to come and say hello?
Cockroach of the paint world.
See, James agrees with me. Look, you never get all the paint out. You can't get any of the paint out of the tin. It's rubbish. It just ends up just spilling.
You can't open it without covering yourself.
Yeah.
Or the lid flipping off on your carpet. All right, mate.
Yeah, it's just, you know what? It's not the actual paint that's the problem. It's always been the tinlets to me. It's the way the design of them tinlets is just the problem.
It needs some sort of lip on it.
Things was better, weren't there? Model Master enamels, because they had the little jars, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've even got some down in a.
Yeah, I've got the little ones as well. Yeah. The only trouble with those is they've got the little cardboard top, haven't they?
Yes.
So when you take the top off, you're left with stuck with the cardboard onto it.
Yeah. Not that old, James. Sorry. Got some Airfix enamels in tins, but not in jars.
Nathan's got some jars, hasn't he?
It's on asking. He's on the chat.
Yeah, you got some jars, Nathan. I'm sure someone's got some jars.
I haven't. I've got the little Airfix tinlets, which again, you know, still usable though. Back in the 60s, blimey. Yeah, but even though the jars then was probably a good idea, as long as you obviously keep the thread.
Yeah, because then you had them.
Because obviously you're thinking the thread and it sticks, and you've glued your lid on your jar, haven't you? So.
Yeah, a few Tamar enamels in jars. Yeah, because they're square jars, aren't they?
They have, yeah. Do you ever have sticky lids? Yep. James
I think the worst thing I ever did with a tin, this would have been around about, when would that have been? It must have been about 1997, 98. I had a tinlet of number 33 black, and somehow I managed to drop it on the carpet. The problem was the carpet only got laid on the Monday. This is on the Wednesday. And obviously it did. It just went face down into the shag pile. No, it wasn't a shag pile, but anyway, of this burgundy carpet we just had put down. So I immediately jumped down, and I've got like paper towel sucking it up and all the rest of it. And then I get the thinners in there, but it had literally buggered it. So after it had gone hard and a bit crispy, I had to cut a square out of the middle, well, not the middle, but a good proportion behind me of the carpet. And actually, off the offcuts that the carpet fitter had left, cut the replacement and then stick it in and fluff it together and tease it together a bit. So, yes, that was the last time I ever used anything like that.
Bet you're popular.
Yeah, well, not married to it anymore, it's fine.
So we had a new carpet fitted, and we're having the kitchen done. And the carpet had been down about a month, and she decided she was going to do some ironing in the living room because she couldn't do it in the kitchen because the kitchen was being done. Mm-hmm. And then she knocked the iron over onto the carpet.
A nice triangle pattern.
Yeah.
Good. Not good. Come on, we've got 20 minutes yet to fill.
Yeah, Dave says he's got 200 little bottles of the Testors enamels. Yeah, that's it. Testors did the square ones, wouldn't it, if I remember rightly? Weren't they in little square bottles?
Yeah, they're quite... enamels were quite big in the States, weren't they, at one point?
Yeah. Because at one point, wasn't it, Model Master was brought over by Creative, wasn't it? They did them.
Yeah.
But they did bring over the acrylics, and their acrylics were actually quite nice.
Yeah.
Because what was the other one? Polyscale, wasn't it? Died a death. What happened to Polyscale?
Don't know. I think they've all sort of thingy, because Model Master don't do them anymore, do they? Are they still going?
No, Model Master's gone now, isn't it? Or is it? Model Masters. Did they die? I'm sure Model Masters said they weren't doing any more.
I think so. I don't know.
Or was it Testers? But then Testers definitely gone now, isn't it?
Testers, yeah.
I know how you feel, David. For some reason, I've got a grey modelling mat. I put stuff down on it, and it's camouflaged. I can't find the bits that I'm looking for. They're on my mat. Stupid idea that was.
Model Master is gone. Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
So, you want one of these flippy mats like I've got lots of just
Too small. It used to be.
how big a mat do you need?
This size.
Yeah.
I've got off them graphic mats, I don't like them now.
Yeah, but I like to put everything on it, so that you got your glue, you got your paint, you got everything on it, rather than just
like this.
No, if you spill it over, you knacker your table. Rather than knacking my mat with a pot of glue that I've knocked over.
But don't knock it over.
Well, that's try not to do it.
I've got this cardboard. You can see why I've got some cardboard underneath my mat.
Yeah, same.
I
Same
thought it makes
size.
a nice sort of framing for when I'm filming on this side of the desk.
There you go. So apparently, Polyscale was bought out by Flowquill.
Oh, Flowquill. Ah, yeah, I've heard of
Oh
it.
no. Then Ken says Polyscale was bought out by Testers, and then they discontinued them.
Oh, right. But put it this way, we're never going to be short on model paints, are we?
No.
You know, how many manufacturers there are out there for literally everything?
Again,
how many shades of olive green do you need?
Yeah, and the thing is, you've got this thing though, isn't it? Like we've said, the great thing with paint, it costs nothing to make it. It's a bit like perfumes and stuff. The actual cost of the material is negligible. It's all in the packaging and stuff. So it's a nice little cash cow, really, for the companies doing it.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And they know you're going to sell it because it's a reusable item as well. It's not something, well, some people do because just leave it on the shelves. But if you're doing primers and all that, you're going to go through it, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
White and black and RLMO2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phil, quick ask: is there any info on the clear coats on your spraying paint demos? Yes, if you just go into the tutorials section, we're going to redo this anyway. Me and Matt are on a mission for this. We spoke about this yesterday, didn't we?
We did, yeah, we did.
So we're going to do a couple on matte coats and satin coats coming up soonish.
Yes.
But if you go into airbrushing on tutorials, and then down in here somewhere we've got about clear coats. I think there's various. There is the ones down in there about clear coats on the live stuff. But in here as well, we've got flat coats, frostings and tips. And on that one, I show how you can take a gloss and do a matte coat with it, a satin coat or a gloss, and vice versa. And obviously stopping if you get that sort of cloudy look. We were speaking about this the other day. Yeah. But to be honest, that's a very old video now, so it needs to be redone. So, but that one there is all about sort of flat coats and getting that effect. And we talk about air pressures and distance. That's using acrylics though. So obviously we need to revisit this using lacquer-based paints because it works slightly different.
Yeah, definitely. And newer acrylics.
Yeah.
I reckon. Like Gen 3 do acrylic clear coats, I think, for the AK range. And who else have we got?
Oh,
there's that stuff out there, but we're struggling to get it at the minute. But
the Mr. Colour one.
The Mr. Colour in the bigger jars.
Aqueous ones.
The Aqueous, yeah. The 20YL, is it? 30YL?
30YL, yeah.
I've never tried them.
I've got some, I've not tried it, actually.
Yeah, I don't know what that spray's like or whatever.
Yeah, never tried it. I was going to try it with lemon.
So I've never tried either, like LP9. And the LP lacquer-based clear coat. Not the AK.
Yeah, I've got it here. So I've used their other one. What was their other one?
The flat one.
LP23.
Yeah. What's that one?
That's the flat clear. Works great.
I wonder what the satin's like. Cause being the lacquer one, I'm not saying there's going to be any problems, but I wonder how the LP9 compares to, say, GX100?
Well, we will put it on test next week.
We're going to have a lot of testing to do then.
We have, because I've got it here. I've got an LP9 here, and I've got GX100 here as well.
Just to see how it compares.
So we can do a test. Sorry, kids. I like the way the dog legs it. Molly's like, what? Lola's, and you're the gun dogs? Rubbish. But yes, we could do a little bit of a test on that. I don't have to. Do they do a satin?
Who?
Tamiya.
Yes, they do a satin clear. I don't know if we've got any in stock because we're having trouble getting LPs. Just before it goes, Steve's just put, just seen ad for no clean airbrush. The needle end is on the paint bottle and you screw back end of airbrush to it. Well, just seen an ad for no clean airbrush. The needle end is on the paint bottle and you screw back end of airbrush onto it.
I've seen those before. Isn't that the external mix ones?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be. LP24 is a semi-gloss, so I don't know if we've got it.
Max said 30YL is great, gloss is great. I mean, anyway. See, I've had a bottle for ages and ages, and I've just
Never used it.
never used it.
Because
Yeah.
you pick up your GX100 or whatever it is, or 112. So, yeah, being the. I know it sounds a daft question because there's not much point, but can you thin that with lacquer thinners?
What, 30YL?
Yeah, but
I thought so. It's the same as the guns.
yeah, that's what I'm
That's this range, isn't it?
yeah,
So
I'm
you
just
got-
asking, yeah. Which I know defeats the object because obviously, but I'm just.
I'll tell you what died a death. Speaking of that, do you remember? This is going back a few years ago now. I was speaking to H&S, Harder and Steenbeck,
Yeah.
a lot, and giving them some helpful feedback, shall we say. And at that point, they were talking about a brand new type of airbrush that had never been seen before.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember saying
Never
that, yeah.
heard any more, did we? It just never happened. Because obviously, when Iwata bought out H&S, the reason they did it is because apparently they didn't have a R&D department, where obviously H&S do.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point. Apparently, they were working on it quite heavily, and they were going to send me one to play with and all the rest of it, and to give feedback on. But and this is going back, well, it's got to be like 5 years now. 4 or 5 years?
I'd have said 4 years, yeah.
Yeah, and it just never happened. Nothing's ever happened of that one. But they were describing it as the format I was sold was, you've never seen anything like this. It's technically an airbrush, but it doesn't work like a traditional airbrush. So
Well,
I'm like, it atomizes paint. It's an airbrush. It's going to have a needle and air.
We said that, didn't we? We exactly said, you know, it's got to atomize paint with air.
Yeah.
So we can, any way you dress it up,
Yes.
that's, you know, yeah.
But it's to say, it never happened, or they never got in contact with me anyway, so. Nine Bolt says, anyone use Sovereign Hobbies model coats, model paints, enamels in small tinlets? Wasn't that like what White Ensign were doing? But they went, didn't they?
Similar one, I don't know, to be honest.
Because White Ensign models have gone now, haven't they?
Are they gone?
Didn't one of their people pass away
I don't know.
a few years ago, if I remember rightly?
I thought because they was bringing in Akan, but they stopped doing it, weren't it? Because or was that the other company? No, that was, what's it called? Wasn't it? Who were doing that? Coastal Commando. Yes, they are White Enzyme and they are great paint.
Well, they're still going, are they?
Are they still in business, Nathan, or not? I don't want to be, knocking people off that's not.
Yeah, they haven't left yet.
It's not left the building yet. That's a bit unfair, but. Quick, type up, Nathan. I want to know if it's still going. See, that's the problem with not having model shows. You don't see what's going on.
This is true, and also you don't speak to people in the industry either, because normally you get things like that from people you're chatting to.
We spoke to somebody today and yesterday in the industry. Well, I did yesterday. You were here.
You did yesterday.
I did yesterday, and today we did. Where did we go this morning? Still in. Oh, right. It's put still in business. They brought the brand when White Enzymes folded. So that's Coastal Command kits, is it? Kits Command, whatever you call them.
Yeah, because GB says about White Ensign were bought out by somebody in the States. You can still
they
get
stopped
the stuff.
being in Afghan, didn't they?
Mm.
So White Ensign is now US based.
Oh.
There's a massive thing for enamel paints, isn't there, in the US?
Yeah.
Mm.
A lot of the paints we mentioned manufacturers I know some of them have gone, but are US based paint manufacturers, aren't they? So Sovereign Hobbies. There you go.
Mm.
Yeah, right, interesting.
It's like those Akan paints though. They were nice.
I thought they was all right.
Mm.
Get the bits in. Once you
I found the easiest.
X28
and just fill it to the top before you decant it. It was absolutely perfect. Yeah.
Strange.
I've got loads.
Because Finger do paint, don't they? Svesta.
Yeah.
Svesta's got paint, huh? Yeah.
It's funny how you see them like Itali's got an acrylic range, but you never see them.
No.
Yeah.
It's a bit like toothpaste, but
well, getting money
Well,
for
it's fair. We have spoken to the rep about that before about them not bringing it in, but
not
it's not
it because of Tanya.
It doesn't go with other ranges, does it?
No. Which is technically wrong because it's an acrylic range and they don't really sell a true acrylic range, so it wouldn't, would it? If that makes, but he's rooted his drawers.
there you go. Look, these are the future. I've even got the thinners for it in one of these. Italian paints. They are like poster paint, to be honest. But we have them here. Got lots of them in theory. Actually, I didn't realise I had this many. Oh, look. Polyscale.
I've got some of that. Now you've mentioned it, I've got some German armour colours in polyscale.
Akan. Actually, do you know what? I never realised I had this many Italian paints. And I've got a bottle of their thinners around here somewhere.
I can remember him buying. You bought the RAF set because that's what you did the Hurricane in, didn't you?
Yeah. I have got some of their thinners here somewhere. No, I don't know what I've done with it now. I seem to have lost that, but I did have. They did like a 30ml bottle of thinners. I think it was.
Here's one, Aero Master paints. Can you remember them?
Yeah.
Were they enamel as well? Have we got a video today to show or not?
Yeah.
All right, just say it's nearly 5:02.
Yes.
Aero Master, I remember them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's strange because I think it's wrong where a distributor can then turn around and say, I'm not taking on that range because it interferes with another range they've got. Because we've had it with a couple of them, haven't we, that haven't brought in particular lines because it interfered with other lines. And, that seems a bit of a shame.
Sales are sale, innit?
Well, you'd have thought so.
And
Sorin says Italian paints are Vallejo paints.
Are they made in Espanol?
These aren't Vallejo, I'll tell you now. This stuff's literally, it weighs a ton. That's always a clue. These are really heavy. This is thick stuff.
Model colour rather than model air.
Apparently it's made in the European Union. They're 20ml bottles. Hold on. Let me read the small print on where it's made.
Because model colour's really thick, isn't it?
Very nice though.
Does spin up.
It does.
Yeah, it's made in Italy.
I mean, we've said this before though, haven't there? How many paint manufacturers is there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But at least this one is a true acrylic. But it's really, really thick. It's proper.
Hey, look, made by Dulux or Crown. Are they still going, Andy?
Yeah.
Dulux are, I know, I've seen the adverts. Are Crown still going?
Yeah.
Here, school now,
yeah, it's all just rebottled Dulux and Crown trade.
That's what Tony's just put on. So, yeah, interesting, isn't it? Because we've all got and I have, and I know you have, tons of paint
Oh God!
that you will never use ever again.
Yeah.
I'm going to sort it out and auction it off.
To be honest, that's what I did, wasn't it? When I gave up using Model Air, we auctioned it off. I auctioned it in one giant lot, all of my stuff, all my spares of it and everything, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've got hundreds of bottles of paint that I probably never use. Hundreds of bottles.
I'm having a proper cool one of the auctions, I tell you. I'm just really going to get rid of it. I know John's having my MRPs, because I said he could have them. And I'm just going to have a proper call. And you are, aren't you? You're going to have a complete...
Yeah, I am. As I say, I'm going to get some of the real colours in.
Yeah.
Because I quite like those, I must admit. And then say I need to stock up, to be honest. I'm going to have to put a paint order in because I'm getting low. But I'm going to have a big cull along here, clear the wall, get some of those in. Because at the moment I've got no homes for a lot of my paints. They're just lying around here.
I know.
So, it's that thing though, isn't it? You have your favourite paint and you go to paint. but until you get another favourite paint and then you sort of like...
Yeah.
But we all stick with Tamiya, don't we? Tamiya's always that.
You've got your go-to paint. Have your Tamiya. That's my Tamiya there.
Get it. But it is, no, I agree with the Tamiya is the...
Because literally I have Tamiya is my Tamiya wool, so I've got my lacquers and my acrylics. I've got my Hitaka lacquers at the top there, then we've got model colour. Then I've got my metal ranges down there. Over on that, there's 2 bays of them again. I've got just solid MRP, and then down the end I've got my L-shaped one, which has got all my guns in it. So
I just think they're just solid, good, easy to use paints, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think that's why they're so popular, because they ain't got massive range like we've always said, and they just work. They just do what they do, don't they?
Yeah. Peter says, why did Phil stop using Model Air paint? Because I discovered lacquers. So, and it's literally like night and day. No tip dry, no stop start. You pull the trigger and then you just keep going for your entire model, even if you're doing mottling. And it was literally just a light bulb went click and that was it. Never gone back to using them again. So
Nathan's basically says, I'm about to spray extra colour enamel. Not really sure why.
It's got to record. You've got to video that one, Nate.
Yeah, go on, Nate. We need a full photo video build on that.
Tutorial on extra colour enamels.
We'll probably be on with him tonight. He'll be crying in his garage.
You know, he'll be wet through for weeks. You've got to do it on vid.
The Al says, do you build the colours or just buy them? Do you mean, do we,
Do you see it? Is that, it's done, isn't it? I don't know what it's doing.
Painted, yeah, it's finished that.
Sorry, what was that, Nathan?
So, well, I don't know. I was just trying to read the question. I don't quite get it. Post up again, Al. Do you build the colours or just buy them? Or do you mean, do we actually do? I must admit, I tend to get in, like I get off a mat, what I need for that one. So like with my RC range, the real colour range, it's as I need them. So normally Matt says you need this, this and this, and they end up coming down here and that's how we do it. But it's quite nice to have a load of other stuff in here as well. So
didn't you want us to order you a full set of...
Yeah, but you won't do it.
We can't get you one, I've told you. I thought you'd already asked the big boss.
I have, and he didn't come back to me.
We'll ask him again. I think you should just keep at him.
So, but I tend to, you know, go along. But if I like an actual colour, I'll probably get it all. Because there's nothing worse when you're doing a model and you haven't got the colour you need and you've got to wait for it. Because that just winds me up big time. That's one of my pet hates because I'm not used to doing with that. Normally I buy in bulk, so I have 6s of everything. But because we've got the store now, I tend to just get it off of them.
Hey, it's called planning ahead.
Yes.
So anyway, we better wrap up, mate. It's nearly 5 o'clock.
Yes, indeedy. Right, okie dokie then, guys. So quick shameless plug time. Don't forget, you can go off and buy all your bits and pieces down either in the store in here, or if you're in the UK, for the Flory model stuff, which for the first time ever, I'm not out of stock of anything, which probably, hopefully will be a good thing. Or you can go over to the PM store for the rest of the world, anywhere in the world, literally. Antarctic, Space Station,
Falklands.
We will be in stock of everything as of Monday. Well,
yes.
Tuesday. It'll be Tuesday, but I'll pick up on Monday.
Dark Dirt will be back in, and
Dark Dirt will be back in. The sets will be back in. Everything will be back in. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, they've had a massive restock of all the paints this week as well, haven't you? And thinners and things.
Yes, Yes, we've got to be honest, we've got the attacker to put in. We've run out of time. We just have, so that'll be upon Monday. But we've had a restock for attacker as well, so that'll be in as well on Monday. So,
yeah, and obviously the specials are all up as well. So we've got a few damaged boxes and various things in there, as well as obviously just discounted kits. So have a look around, check the description, slightly damaged boxes, usual thing. They might have a small nick in them or something, but nothing major. All the parts internally are fine. They would have been checked.
Yeah.
So yes, good to go. So there we go. We will see you next week, everybody. Happy modelling. Take care. As always on a Friday, I'm going to leave you with your great work from the gallery. Some good stuff in there this week. So hang around and see if your model's in there. If not, we will see you next week. Say good night, gentlemen. We are out of here. Bye.
I was not ready to falling like I'm wasted. My heart grows heavy. Don't taste me rushing and keep your words naked. You got me blushing, and you forever I'll follow. You'll be my holy ground. You forever I'll follow in immortality. I can see you and me free in immortality. I can see you and me free. You left me crying and running through a ghost town, alone and stranded. Why leave me hoping and guessing for the answers?